Roman legend, the first king was Romulus.
His mother was Rhea Silvia, daughter of King Numitor, king of Alba Longa.
The king had a brother named Amulius.
Amulius usurped the throne and declared himself king.
He also forced Rhea Silvia to become a Vestal Virgin.
However, Rhea Silvia gave birth to twins,
Remus
and Romulus. Amulius found out and condemned Rhea Silvia to death,
and abandoned the twins into the Tiber River. Firstly, the river god Tiberinus calmed the river for safety.
Then they were found by the she-wolf who suckled them, and a woodpecker who fed them. At last they were found by Phasculus and Acalaurentia, who were shepherds. Romulus and Remus grew up to be shepherds. One day, Romulus and Remus got into a fight with fellow King Amulus' shepherds.
After the fight, Remus was taken away,
So Romulus gathered some of the local shepherds to rescue his brother. During the fight between Romulus' shepherds and King Amulus' shepherds, King Amulus was killed.
The citizens of Alba Longa offered Romulus and Remus to be their kings.
However, the twins rejected the offer and decided to find a location to build their own cities.
Romulus chose Palatine Hill, whereas Remus chose Aventine Hill.
The brothers decided to settle their disagreement by observing the number of birds in the sky.
This shows the person who God's favor.
Romulus claimed to have seen 12 birds, 6 more than Remus.
However, Remus claimed that he won because he saw his 6 birds first.
They argued until Romulus decided to build walls around his hill.
Remus jumped over Romulus's wall and mocked him,
Until Romulus killed him and declared himself king of Rome.
Romulus installed a government system, including patricians and senators.
The population grew and grew until there were too many men in the city.
To solve this problem, they kidnapped women from Sabines and Latins.
The Sabines and Latin king declared war on Rome. However, they were quickly defeated.
The king of Sabine, Titus Tatius, assaulted Rome, where Rome nearly lost,
until Jupiter led them to a truce, which led them to rule together for 5 years.
During these 5 years, Titus was caught sheltering his allies in Rome.
He was assassinated by the senators.
After Eumeter died of his old age, Romulus took over Alba Longa.
During these years, Rome grew more powerful and more of an autocracy. The senators became resentful.
One day, Romulus disappeared mysteriously.
Numa Pompilius was loved by all his men. He was a religious man who was not interested in ruling a city so violent as Rome. At the age of 40, Numa Pompilius was persuaded to rule the city as his religious duty. During his reign, Numa Pompilius introduces landforms and new religious systems to the Romans. He also worked on the calendar, fixing the calendar to 360 days, and adding the months January and February to make the calendar solar.
Tullus was more militaristic than Romulus, as Tullus went to war against Alba, Fidenae, and the Ventinus. He treated the Albans as allies, but when their leader acted treacherously, he conquered them.
After defeating the people of Fidenae, he conquered the allies, the Valentines, a bloody battle in the Anio River. He also defeated the Sabines by throwing them into confusion using the Albines' enhanced cavalry.
Tullus was not very religious. When a plague struck, the Romans believed it to be his punishment. Tullus didn't worry about it until he, too, became called the plague. Then he tried to follow the rites, but messed it up. It was believed that Jupiter, in response to this lack of attention, struck Tullus with a bolt of lightning.
Ancus Martius was the grandson of the second Roman king, Numa Pompilius. It's claimed that he built the first bridge across the Tiber River, and it is also thought that Ancus Martius waged war on many Latin countries. Tarquinius belonged to the Etruscan tribe. Upon the death of Martius, Tarquinius addressed the Senate and convinced them to elect him as king. He increased the Senate by adding 100 men from minor families, and he waged several wars on the Latins, Sabines, and Etruscans, respectively. According to the legend, the sons of his procedure arranged an assassination disguised as a riot.
However, they failed to obtain his position.
Servius Tullius was said to be the first Roman king to succeed without an election, gaining the throne for popular support. During his early reign, he went to war with the Etruscans and have said to show valor in the campaign and have routed a great army of the enemy. He ended up being murdered in the streets by his daughter and her husband. This crime was the reason for the eventual overthrow of the monarchy. Servius Tullius had a daughter who married Tarquinius Superbus, also known as Tarquinius the Proud. He killed the previous king and usurped the throne. Superbus took down many towns and many cities, along with the Latins. All was good until Tarquinius' son raped a young noblewoman named Lucretia. Tarquinius and his son were expelled from Rome by the senators led by Lucius Junius Brutus. This was the end of the Roman Empire and the start of the Roman Republic.